He delivered me from my strong enemy and from them which hated me, for they were too strong for me. They prevented me in the day of my calamity, but the Lord was my stay. He brought me forth also into a large place. He delivered me because he delighted in me. The Lord rewarded me according to my righteousness. According to the cleanness of my hands hath he recompensed me. For I have kept the ways of the Lord.
Well, we built our pyramid. We've found our messengers. Mercury, Quicksilver. I've identified a real cultural war, literary warfare going on in the form of Mr. Charles J. Shields' banishment of me and my compatriot, Amy Olds. And it looks like he's disappeared the crux of Kurt Vonnegut's existence on this planet. This is cultural warfare at its finest and its worst. It just doesn't get any higher than this to elect yourself sort of a champion of book burning. You know, Fahrenheit 451. Rather than burning the books, they form a group of biographers. See, Barracudas. See, they wait for these bohemian visionaries, any visionary, to science fiction visionary in this case, to near death. See, because when you near death, you can't take it with you. You can't take these secrets with you. You can't take the family secrets with you. You can't take the family treasure, the jewels, the crystals, the Ouija boards with you. You've got to leave it behind. You've got to leave it to somebody that you trust. See? And Kurt Vonnegut made the mistake of trusting Charles J. Shields because he had a motive. He contacted Vonnegut. He had a motive. He wanted to get next to this guy to be sure on his deathbed he doesn't talk about the secret of his success. Or when he reveals to the undertaker the source of his inspiration. You know, there he is, like a priest, you know. He looks like one. He looks like a Catholic priest. He looks like, you know, a member of Opus Dei. You know, if I'd seen that face, full front, I probably not would have shared it, because that's what I felt from him. The sharecropper, that I saw how everybody else was holding back. He threw the idea of the wood-burning motorcycle, which appeared in my book, The Getting Computer. The agent, it was a German, he pretended that he was, as an engineer, studying the wood-burning automobile. They made wood-burning Volkswagens. But in Switzerland, there was a man who, I forget his name, that was making wood-burning cars, and Germany was really short on oil. So he pretends to be interested in that, but what he's going after is the hard water plants, where the Germans are working on trying to make it a bomb using hard water, and he's one of the saboteurs that blows the dam and the plant. So yeah, this is cultural warfare. So you know, Shields said, hey, you know, he showed a picture of this wood-burning car, and he wrote something. It says, you know, who's next? Who's going to carry on this story? See, boy, I was on it like a hot tick. You know, I said, you know, phew, thanks. You know, and even then, people were afraid to speak up because they knew the shearer was there. You know, he was ready. You know, you can only get so high. You can't get higher than Shields. He co-founded the bio clinic. You know, so everybody was really nervous that, you know, if you speak up and you fail, you know, to impress Mr. Shields, you know, off with your neck. You know, well, I'm not afraid of that. That's never stopped me, because I've never bought into it. See, I don't have a price. You know, I'm no Judas. I don't have a price. You can't offer me, you know, all the money in the world to portray the cause. I would never do it. See, but all these other people, when they see the shearers coming, you know, oh God, I've been working on this biography for so long, and if I speak up about this wood-burning motorcycle, you know, make a fool of myself, off from his head. You know, well, Amy submits a painting, and it's off with her head, you know, and you just couldn't stop my dialogue, you know. I posted things from Rosemont Press on there, the Mel Lyman cult, where Jesse Benton, my Kim, is saying that they're aliens from another planet, and they've all met here, you know, on Fort Hill in Roxbury. Well, I was at a commune right down the street, and we used to go up there once a week, and they would come down to our house. We were part of this food conspiracy, where we'd meet and make a shopping list, you know, and then 3 days later we'd meet again to divvy up these groceries, vegetables that we bought wholesale. We'd send some down to the market. And I'm pretty sure I met Jessie Benton, who was the daughter of the artist Thomas Hart Benton, and he was the cousin of Garth Benton, who my sister married, and my niece is Drew Benton. So this is a family thing, and here you've got Jessie Benton up there, the wife of Mel Lyman, Mel Lyman's in my family tree. I told Shields all this, showed him this, you know, and you know, it's a family of writers and artists and musicians. See, you know, Pinchon is related to Mel Lyman, and you know, he played in Jim Kweskin's jug band and stuff, and all of a sudden, there it is. That's what he saw, what he was oppressing when he oppressed the StarSHIP, Battle Against the Empire novels and stuff. That StarSHIP wanted Kurt Vonnegut to come and be a part of and give his stamp of approval. So that's what got me 86. When he read that, he said, you know, and of course with Antonin's Harteau taking peyote, it's all there in that one post. And I went to bed that night thinking, gosh, maybe I back off and, you know, maybe not post for a while. And I knew as soon as I would post, abort, whoosh, you know. See? Because he oppressed that. His autobiography of Kurt Vonnegut. And so it goes. And this is basically an ongoing book review of a book I have not read. But I looked at the reviews, and now I'm looking at the videos, and I looked at the Shields standing up on a stage, lying his ass off. You know, just turning the whole StarSHIP, you know, around and heading it towards this young guy in the army, you know, trying to do his duty, you know, save, you know, America from its enemies, you know. Yeah, look at this, there's a star and a crescent moon with a handle and a hammer. What is that hammer? StarSHIP. That's a kind of hammer you beat on metal, forged metal with, see? You know, the handle, the throttle. You know? Oh, what do I got this hat on? I dressed as Merlin, protesting against the war in Iraq, the coming war in Iraq, to bring God's gift of freedom to Iraqis who go, we don't have any free will, nor do we want any. Why are you going to spend $2 trillion doing this? Well, I knew what it was. I knew what Bush's Christian handlers wanted, because they're all from the army, see. They all went into the army. And they're fighting the Red Menace, communism, the evil empire, the Soviet Union, the other rednecks. So I wore this. I got photographs. I put that up, on the blog. I carried a sign saying, the evil empire of old, and I basically shouted, hey, I want my evil empire back, or something like that. That was another demonstration. But what I was pointing out, that's what I was doing, was the cultural warfare machine makers of the Christian right were saying that Saddam Hussein was the beast of Babylon. And we must go to war with the beast of Babylon because it's written in the Bible. Well, they've been saying for years that the big war against the beast would happen in the Soviet Union. So I'm dressed like that beast of the Soviet Union, going, hey, what about me? You're listening to false prophets. Don't go over there. Your enemies in the Soviet Union, because you wrote about it for years, and you sent my generation and my friends and my peers over to Vietnam to fight that beast. In Vietnam, well, he wasn't there either. And home come our soldiers, all fucked up. The medical cost to take care of Vietnam vets is billions and billions a year. Now we got the soldiers coming back from Iraq and Afghanistan. Tens of billions a year, because they're all fucked up. All got PTSD. This is not, how much damage did people who take LSD, how much damage did that do? How many people died and had their brains blown out, had their souls crushed, who are mentally ill, homeless because they're afraid to have neighbors because they're so freaked out. See, the Christian right did this, to fight the hippie culture. Because if they can make more veterans, see, and they'll be loyal to Jesus and the cause in America. So, because the Red Menace, not in Russia, not in Iraq, Afghanistan. Where is the Red Menace? You're looking at him! The last of the bohemians and hippies right here. They're still spending trillions of dollars, on this big counterculture warfare to wipe me out. Gotta build a pyramid! They got Vonnegut, or I thought they did, that he was a part of the grand conspiracy. Just a pawn in their game. See? Yeah. But no, you don't have to worry. See, we are going to leave the prisoner planet at last. See, that's what it was about. The commies were working on their spaceship. Chinese just put a little vehicle on the moon. The Germans had their V-2 rockets, Cultural warfare. See, we all want to get off the prisoner planet. And we invent gods and religions, Some of us start taking LSD, thinking we can find the key, that'll unlock the door to the flying saucer. We can get in it, hijack it, and we're out of here. And that was what my book, The Getting Computer, was about. Bill was a mechanic, and he turned his Ford Thunderbird. It's a sun god, we'll get into that. And he's arrested, put in the Gideon Institute. His job is to spy on other people for the artful dodgers that people are trying to escape, because he's so good at it. And then he's rewarded with time with other fellow prisoners on the internet. No one ever actually sees each other physically. So he meets up with these hackers, Montana wild hack. Yeah, you didn't see that one, did you, Mr. Shields? Wild hack in Montana, in the underground nuclear abandoned caves. That's where we got our computer. With a free will for mankind. See, we've hacked. The snow is down. We've hacked it. We control the Gideon computer now, Mr. Shields. You understand? Vonnegut was working with us. He was with us. He set you up. He infiltrated the bioclinic where you erase, and sterilize the whole bohemian hippie LSD StarSHIP thing that mankind has been in love since they wrote the Bible and long before. Gonna build a pyramid! Cultural warfare is a trip. It's all a matter of, the artists who's employed. Cultural warfare all the time. The writers are. Hitler knew this. Oh, look at, he's transforming. It's metamorphosis. What? Who? What is he now? Here comes Uncle Santa Claus. Here comes Uncle Santa Claus. Right down Santa Claus Lane. You didn't see this one, did you, Connie? See the StarSHIP in their great StarSHIP rock, opera, Uncle Samuel. See, well, I wore this dress, with a communist flag on my back and this in the front, and this guy came up to me, and says, he says, who are you? Uncle Santa Claus? I went, holy shit, thanks for the moniker, man. Brilliant. Since I'm in this old warehouse with the Occupy Eugene people, their second meeting, dressed like a fucking nut, maybe a merry prankster? And I'm not a bug. Like you are, Mr. Shields. So there I am drinking a Coke, There's all these radicals, here in the Gene area, meeting, and, people are getting up to speak. I signed up to speak, and I said, well, when you guys get your signaling together, I know where we should go set up our tents. The post office. You shall build it's in the Constitution, you shall build a post office and roads to the post office. Well, why did the Founding Fathers want that in the Constitution? Because they just subverted the British Empire by sending radical literature to one another. Okay? Radical newspapers to one another. That's how they did it. Otherwise, most people weren't interested. So they wanted to keep that going. They wanted to establish a radical post office with roads to the post office, so you could get on your horse and bring your packet, of radical literature and send it off to your congressman, your senator, your friends. Keep the revolution going. Free will. So, yeah. When Sarah Paley came to town, I dressed as a Star Wars guy, has a lightsaber in my hand and stuff. So, where are we? So, in my novel, Getting Computer, when the wild hackers, they use a fractal. I rewrote this when I discovered the fractal image to hide the information, the bad information, and hide her, the benevolent one, the benevolent voice that they created or brought forth. And she freed them. See, she's like the Statue of Liberty, see. And she was going to free these men in isolation, these writers, these hackers, these authors, and destroy the Gideon Institute, the Bio Institute, where people work on bios of people to find snippets of guilt on them, things that they did wrong and mistakes they made, and they splice all these shameful things together and they bust their ass. So then, once they're free, they meet in a warehouse to work on their secret project, which is a StarSHIP. Wow, I get chills. See, that's giving away the end of my novel. These Artford Dodgers, these men with brilliant free wills, build a StarSHIP to leave the prisoner planet, go looking for life on other planets. Come soon, closer, come soon, On, Dancer, on, Prancer, on, Nixon, go to build the pyramid! Alright, so we're ready. Are we ready to fly? We ready to go? Ready to leave the prisoner planet? I am your captain, Springfield Johnny. Are you ready to leave the planet of shame and guilt of the sharecroppers? My great-great-grandfather was the captain of the U.S. Enterprise, the first one. He took the ship to Tripoli to fight the Muslim pirates, the first time that America made war with Islamic radicals who were taking our ships and our Americans hostage, along with other people, the British. And he captained the U.S. Constitution in that battle. And here we go. Let your conscience be your guide. Oh, you can't see that eyeball. Can you see that? Okay. Third eye. Thinking is the best way to travel. See, Amy, there's all these beautiful paintings of people with third eyes on their hands, and, their eyes, and she has their eyes closed, Thinking is the best way to travel. See, when you start disappearing the books, contributions of authors, and changing history, which the evangelical Christian right is doing, as they took over the Republican Party founded by Ken, Jesse, and John Fremont. When they start doing that, they become what Hitler was. And it will always be a suppressor of the truth and a soul murderer. So next time, Captain Johnny's, have a safe trip out there. And don't forget, the truth will set you free. So long. Have a safe voyage.